Okay, last game today for Stark Banner of the Kraken. The opponent is Stark Banner of the Dragon, so it's probably Queen's Guard, which I don't like. Do I have Confiscation? I do have Confiscation. No Econ, which is sad, but we do get to set up a Duped Wyman, a Steward, and an Iron Mine. That's not too bad. Do we have Peace and Prosperity? We do. I guess it doesn't matter which one we pick. Okay. Well, his setup is better, but ours isn't bad. Let's see what we can do. Starting with Duped Wyman is always nice, and we did not... Oh, so it's a kill deck, okay. We were not able to get an economy location, but we do have the Steward, so it's better than nothing. It's good that we already have 4 saves available, 2 on setup and 2 in hand, as well as Arya, who obviously gets herself a save, and he's like trying to do a kill deck. We can still lose to Ward. You can always lose to Ward. So if Ward comes down, there's just not a whole lot you can do about it. Alright, we always marshal her. I believe we always marshal a bodyguard here. Then it's a question of which location do we want. If we marshal Great Hall, then we can marshal Summer with a duplicate. That's probably the game plan. The other option is Flea Bottom, but we're probably going to have to avoid really using Flea Bottom for the first turn. We could also go King's Landing. Man. Yeah, I think I'm going to go King's Landing. And I'm going to try to use the Winterfell Steward for claim. That way... I mean, I'm expecting him to do like a Winter is Coming 3 claim military, and luckily, you know, we can tank the 3 claim, and the Winterfell Steward will die to claim, and then next turn we can marshal Summer to revive it, and then play Flea Bottom. Luckily, he cannot play Ward on Arya, because he has an Arya on his side. That helps. So I'm not sure what he could have that would be too scary right now. I'm probably not going to use the draw ability on King's Landing in Challenges phase, because ideally I'm going to use the Iron Mine for military claim and then marshal it back out of the discard next turn. So if I also discard something with the King's Landing ability... Did he make me first player and then marshal Great John Umber? That doesn't make any sense, but okay. If I discard one from hand and use the Iron Mine, then I cannot marshal both back out of my discard. I can only marshal one location out of my discard per turn with King's Landing. It's probably just going to be Iron Mine like over and over. Okay. Here we go. He's going to let us do some challenges. No Sea Bitch or Lordsport Shipwright. That's unfortunate. Hopefully we can draw one of those to take his Flea Bottom. Or to nullify it, rather, since he does have the second Sons. I'm trying to think of what other events could be problematic, but like Put to the Sword wouldn't really be that big of a deal either, because Wyman Manderley has 3 saves available. Wow, got Winter is Coming. If that was his only copy in hand, that's extremely lucky. But he could just have another one. So if he wants to defend this, let's make Great John defend it. But I won't be surprised if he just like doesn't defend it. Yeah, that also makes sense, because yeah, he's still going to get 2 challenges. He might as well defend it. And I'm going to go ahead and declare this power challenge, because Arya is going to stealth this guy anyways, so he cannot be used to chump block. Just get 1 extra power. Oh, he wanted to defend it. Well, I don't think that was correct. Oh, I forgot he's sneak attack. So the reason he did that is because he has sneak attack revealed. So he cannot do a power. He's just going to do a military. Off to Gull Town. Okay. And he's going to do an intrigue. Alright then. Well, as long as this doesn't discard Rob, I'm fine with this. Because everything else is like discard fodder. Even if it gets robbed, it's really not the end of the world. So he did have another winter is coming. That's unfortunate. Well, at least we got one of them. So 2 summers. The bodyguard's unfortunate, but the 2 summers is fine because we still have flea bottom. I guess. Yeah, let's go ahead and do this. There. Since he did not do a military, we got to keep the iron mine. Go ahead and use the King's Landing. I was a little late on that. I was supposed to do it in the action window right after his challenge, but whatever. There is still a window to do that. Now do I just do noble cause? Probably. Yeah, because I have a Great Hall coming out of my discard, so I might as well. March to the wall. Mean. Obviously, that's not that big of a deal. It's pretty good that he didn't have anything better to do than that than play March when it's going to march a Steward on my side. Correctly makes himself first player with Great John this turn. But I think we're going to be able to have both Wyman, Rob, and Flea Bottom, all of that in play. There's the ward. Nothing you can do about that. So hopefully we can still stand our dudes even after the Intimidate. So that's why he did March. He wanted to march his Arya so he could play ward. That's annoying, but we should still be in good shape, all things considered. I would guess that he has 2 copies of March to the Wall, but we have a Steward to absorb the next one. I'm not going to try to confiscate that ward. I really highly doubt that he would do that if he didn't have another March that he's going to play next turn. Yeah, that worked out perfectly. Exactly 1 gold for the summer. I might as well bring a dude in to oppose this. So I'm probably going to stand my whole board by sacking Summer anyways after the Intimidate. So just go ahead and do this. This also blocks Intimidate, I think, because he's going to win by 4, so he cannot Intimidate either of my 5 strength characters. Yep. Use the Bodyguard. Sort of the first save that I want to use, also because Wyman has extra protection, and Bodyguard is vulnerable to like confiscation. So now I don't have to worry about that really. So here comes the big power challenge, which is fine because we're just going to defend it and then stand everybody, so it doesn't matter, even though it's going to intimidate our board. Really got a super good draw this game. Even though we don't have a bunch of economy, like the way the rest of our draws lined up is fantastic. Like this is so good. Especially given what he's playing. He just doesn't want to attack. Okay, sure. I don't think I have any more location. Yeah, so we're going to use King's Landing in a minute here. Use King's Landing, and then I can marshal that iron mine next turn. North remembers, very nice. I think I can do this. 6 to 6, yeah. This way, if he chump blocks it, we'll tie dominance. I think that's more efficient. I won't be surprised if he does Valar Dohaeris, only to get rid of the Wyman Rob combo. And if he does that, I still can't use Confiscation since he has less power than me. He'll win initiative and not pick Arya for Valar Dohaeris if I try to do Confiscation. Instead, probably just do Trade Route since we have a 7 cost character in hand. Yep. I called it. I freaking called it. Still gonna keep Wyman Manderly. He's always the most important character. Milk, heck yeah. I also could do a pretty powerful Valar Morghulis whenever I feel like doing that. He doesn't have any saves. You know, that's my Arya, so I'm going to be like, no, don't save her. Okay, do this. Do this. Do this. I think I just kneel both of these guys. Yeah, I don't care. Once again, very efficient. I'm going to wait for Wyman Manderly to be knelt by something and then use the North Remembers. Probably sacrifice one of these Iron Mines because they can just be marshaled back out next turn. Oh, I should just go ahead and do it now then. So if I'm sacking a location, it won't trigger Wyman. So yeah, as soon as he passes his action window, I'm going to use it. He'll probably pick my Arya, that'd be my guess. Or just an economy location. Both of those are fine. Yeah, he just picked an econ location. That's still pretty good for me. Yeah, if he attacks me, I can kill a steward and get the event back. So now it's like, does he even want to declare a military? It's not even worth it. Declaring a pointless intrigue challenge. Guess he might as well just try to get some unopposed power. But I'm not going to allow him to have it. I'm just going to defend with Wyman Manderley. Well, that was a misclick. That's unfortunate. I was definitely supposed to defend that. Oh well. Oh well. Normally I would bring in Summer and defend and kill Summer, but I want to do Counting Coppers next turn. So I think we'll just use the Steward. Unfortunately, we don't have another gold to get Winter. Not Winter is coming. We can't get the North Remembers back. Unfortunate. Another location. That's handy. I think we might as well mill that. Really? Okay then. We're keeping the other Steward around because he might have another copy of March to the Wall. So I'm not going to use Confiscation yet because he could have another March, and then I'd have to confiscate the milk on Great John. Just going to do Counting Coppers. But if he does another March here, then I might be able to actually use Confiscation. Okay. So I guess he might not actually have another March. Maybe we'll use Confiscation next turn. I think I'm just going to keep King's Landing in Economy, and then I can marshal whatever location I want. I mean, almost definitely Flea Bottom out of my discard. Obviously, it's not, you know, of all the times to run into political disaster, having King's Landing out is probably like the best time. Unfortunately, cannot afford to do much of anything else, but we have cards in our hands. Just going to sit here and wait till we can do something with them. And I think I'm very favored in this game, and definitely favored over a long game because I have Wyman and Catlin sitting here. It doesn't seem like there's anything he's ever going to be able to do about them, because he already used his Doharis to get rid of Rob. There's Mira Reed. I guess that's one thing he can do about it. Hopefully I can hit her with Milk next turn. What do I mill next? Not my economy. I want to mill something. I guess the iron mines, I don't know. Just do that. It might not even be correct to trigger it, but why not? I guess this Shadows card could also be Aegon or Queen's Guard. But it obviously could be Mira Reed. If it's Queensguard, I'm not too scared of that. He doesn't have any good characters for that. Okay, he's giving up. Sure, buddy. If you feel that way. Well, hit concede if you think you can't come back. Too much save. Yeah, that's what happens if you try to play a deck that's one-dimensional in terms of the only strategy is trying to kill the other person's characters. If you run into decks that have saves, you lose the game. So that's why I favor, I don't usually try to play decks that like the only way they can win is by killing everything, except for, obviously, I mean, I don't like to play this personally, as anyone who's watched the channel has found out, but it's still very viable to do it as Targaryen. Because you can't use saves then. You don't get to save against Targaryen. But in most other cases, pure kill decks are, they obviously can work sometimes, but they're not very reliable. A lot of times you want to have a deck that can put a lot of board pressure on, if that's useful, but, also has some way to, like, win the game besides only that. That also just has some powerful characters. One good example of that was a Tyrell Summer deck that I had that had, I had, like, 3 copies of Put to the Sword. So I could try to kill stuff a lot of the time, and I had Put to the Torch, too. But if that failed, I also just had, like, Renly Baratheon and Randall Tarley and a bunch of big dudes. And I could also just win that way. I didn't have to rely on killing stuff on the opponent's side. Anyways, we got to do some King's Landing stuff that game, so that was cool. Overall, I'd say this is a fun deck. I like this deck. Number 1, I like Stark. I think the Kraken banner in King's Landing is pretty effective and sort of synergizes pretty well. It all fits together pretty nicely. I enjoyed playing this deck. But yeah, so the upcoming decks is the Targ Lion and Tyrell Banner of the Sun will be the decks starting tomorrow.